I challenge the broadcast industry to do what movies have done, to identify your program in ways that help parents to protect their children.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Broadcasting to you live from Love Canal.
Oh, it's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live here.
Western New York and all across the world. This.
Once in a lifetime, there comes a show whose sheer power eclipses all that has come before it. That show is
the Jonathan Fischer Show. And here's your host, Jonathan Fischer.
Here's Johnny.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. I just got to hold on one second. Oh, that sounds horrible. Hold on. I just got to hold on one second. Can't tell where that's coming from. Oh, that sounds horrible. Hold on. Hello, can you hear me from here? Hold on. Can't tell where that's coming from. Oh, that's different. That sounds horrible. Hold on. Hello, can you hear me from here? Okay, cool. Can't tell where that... So that's coming from the webcam. But I just wanted to address everyone here at 10 o'clock just to let everybody know where exactly I am and what I've been doing this past year on getting the Jon Fischer Show back up and running. And for those of you who have never listened to my podcast before, I've been doing this for pretty much almost 14 years. And the last 6 to 7 years I've been doing it off of Spreaker.com. Well, we decided to leave them a year ago, and I've been flirting with the idea of coming over to YouTube, and after doing a lot of research and figuring out how to do things, here I am. I'm finally on YouTube. We are roughly a little over a week and a half away from actually going 100% live. The only reason why I'm doing this tonight is just to kind of get, for me, a little test run of exactly how this is all going to work out, what this looks like on playback, how it sounds. So right now you're hearing me off the mics on the webcam. This does work. I can switch it, and I will probably do that during the show. So while you're watching me, if you are watching me, there will be a lot of times where it's just quiet, me just tinkering around with certain things, just adjusting things and seeing how I sound on playback when I do play this back. But yeah, I'm just going to show you guys what the Jon Fischer Show is going to basically look like in the foreseeable future. So with that being said, I'll give you the gist. The Jon Fischer Show is returning on Wednesday, January 9th at 9 p.m. It'll be on every Wednesday from 9 p.m. after that. And one of the screens that you were watching prior to me going live is basically going to be I don't know if it's going to be an everyday live thing or it's just going to be up the day of a show just to show you what shows are coming up. I'm not going to be the only show. I am working on bringing in at least 2 other people who might want to do a show. I'm still talking to, if you guys remember from last season, Brad Schiavone. He did sports, so I'm going to be talking with him again to see if he wants to come back on, as well as a possible newcomer. I'm still scouting him out, seeing if he's even interested in doing a show. And then me, myself, I've come up with 2 other additional shows that I'm actually interested in doing. It's going to be a live, I don't know if I'm going to do it live. I may actually do it pre-recorded and then put it on, but it's basically a run called Morning on the 90s. And I don't know if I want to do it as an everyday thing or if I want to do it as a one-day thing, like a Monday morning kind of deal. But it's going to have a lot of funny, interesting stuff because if you ever been to Buffalo or in the Western New York area, you will obviously know we have probably one of the worst drivers in this area. So especially on the 90, the 190, and the 290, just the 3 major arteries in Western New York. There's always something going on, some kind of driver out there just being crazy. So I came up with a show called Morning on the 90s. It will probably run sometime in January. I've been basically working on the Jon Fischer Show kinks first. Once I figure out after tonight how this test run goes, then I'll start adding on to other shows. So that's one. Another one I'm planning on doing is a DIY show. And what the DIY show is going to do is just basic stupid stuff around the house that everybody should know how to do. Whether it's changing your filter in your furnace, to changing the oil in your car, or basically, gardening tips. And I know we get a kick out of that at work because everyone makes fun of me for having an episode last year, or a couple of years ago, not last year, but a couple of years ago, about gardening. It's interesting stuff because not a lot of people just think, hey, I could just put a flower in the ground and it's going to survive. There's a lot to it. Same thing with oil, certain types of oil in your car. How about your lawnmower, So it's going to be a really dumbed down DIY show, basic house maintenance, car maintenance, lawn maintenance, I don't know, anything and everything. And I think it's going to be really interesting. That one will be a pre-recorded show, though. It's not going to be a live one. And it'll be very informative. I have a couple of great ideas coming up for that. That's probably going to come in February. It might get pushed back more. But the way that I see this going, it might come sooner as long as everything with tonight's little test run flows. But once again, myself, the Jon Fischer Show is officially going to be live on air and the start of season 13 on Wednesday, January 9th at 9 p.m. So I hope you do come and visit me. We do have a live stream chat window here, which I'll show you this. This is actually pretty cool. I love everything I've done with this. I've never been on YouTube before, and I've never had my face to a camera. I'm always 100% on the radio. I like my voice on the radio. I have a voice for radio, but not a face for TV. So, but I mean, I'm hoping that my face impresses people tonight. But here's what I've been working on. So when you come and see my show, you'll see that Jon Fischer Show is offline, and it'll have that countdown clock. So I'll go to that real quick, and basically that countdown clock that is on there now, that's at 242 hours, 34 minutes, and 23 seconds. That's it's not even going right now, but that right now is the countdown clock until the January 9th, 9 p.m. Broadcast. So that's why you see such a big number. It's 242 hours from the show, and it has background music. So here's what it looks like. And on the right side is all the upcoming shows. Now that'll obviously get added to when I feel like the Morning on the 90s and the DIY show is going to happen, or if we add any more people to the show, that'll obviously get adjusted. But for right now, I kind of just did it 2 months out, January, February, and in time I'll add to it. But going forward, season 13 will be every Wednesday. If there's an interruption or a day that I have to take off on a Wednesday, it'll be posted here. And I obviously will figure out if I want to do this as an all-day thing or an everyday thing, 24/7 live stream where you just see this. I don't know what I want to do yet, but this is just a start. So, and then there's a scrolling ticker at the bottom with more information. We just reactivated the old Niagara radio station Facebook page, so you can go back on that. It is now the Niagara Podcast Channel. It is on Facebook, so you can do @Niagara Podcast Channel. And if you haven't gotten a like for it, like it now. That way you can get prompt when I do go live or any of our shows go live through Facebook. And then if you're on YouTube, go to the YouTube channel. Right now it's just my name, Jonathan Fischer. That'll probably change. If it doesn't, it'll stay the same. But make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll get notifications for when any of the shows go on, regardless if the name changes from my first and last name to the Niagara Podcast Channel like I wanted it to be. So with that being said, if you see this screen, that just means we're offline. We're live, but we're offline. And this is where all your information about what shows are coming up, what information or maybe what the next show is going to be about will be on this page. So I'll show you this real quick. And basically with the information on the right, and there will be background music, of course, but that again shows the upcoming shows, The ticker at the bottom will show the information, and I'll show it to you again. And then obviously the countdown clock until the January 9th show. The other thing I got that's pretty cool, and I still like tinkering around with, is the chat window. And this is where you can see everything going on. If anybody's watching live, this is exactly where you can see people talking to each other. I don't have any guidelines yet. You could swear anything right now. It's not going to make a difference to me, but when we do go live, I might tune it up a little bit. Like I said, I still have a week and a half to figure all this out, and even after that. But see, I can type in, and then boom, there it is. It shows up on my live, and that's awesome. So I'm watching my live. There it is. So now it popped up, but it's pretty cool. I like a lot of things that we're doing with this, and then I've incorporated a ticker at the bottom that shows the same thing. It just has information going at the bottom of your screen right here, and again, it'll be information about the show, contact information. You can obviously put whatever you want in the comments. I read them while I'm doing my show, and if you have questions, I'll be able to answer them that way. That'll actually be the best way to contact me, as opposed to the radio station. You had to call in or text. Now I could see you in the chat, and there you go. I can answer your questions. I can laugh. We can have a good time. On the January 9th episode, I'll go more in depth of what the show is going to be about, what we're going to do. I have a feeling it's going to be anywhere between a half hour to an hour episode, but it'll be jam-packed with stuff that's funny, stuff to do, stuff we're talking about, maybe a couple games. I'm still working on that. I'm actually looking into a program tonight to where I can actually run my Xbox One off my Apple so that we can stream playing games through this. So it'll be quite interesting to see how all this goes. Other than that, I know I feel like I rambled way too much. I have my big screen here. This is where I do my my editing and what I want to do going in. I have hotkeys to change things. I just forget how this works. I gotta make a little I gotta make a little note here how this works. Let's see, F16. Nothing. Nope. Oh, there we go. Huh. Maybe if I get out of studio mode. Alright, now let's try it. Ah, there we go. I wonder if this shows up live. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I have to get out of studio mode for this to work. And then obviously I can, oh. There we go. Cool. Back to that. That's pretty sweet. And then this is...
I challenge the broadcast.
So that's cool. I like that. So that's my hotkeys. I might want to switch this up so that I'm not monkeying around with all that. Okay. Because of the way that this is. So, interesting. And then obviously I could do, I think it's this. Nope. No. Do I have to go back into studio mode? Yeah, I don't know. Alright, whatever. Alright, so bear with me. If you are watching live, which no one's really watching live right now, but if you do watch live and maybe you're watching from the beginning and you see me, I'm going to it's going to be quiet. I'm going to be tinkering around with some stuff, and you're probably going to hear some background noise from my phone because I'm going to tinker around with some of this stuff. Hear some background noise from my phone because I'm going to tinker around with some of this stuff. Hear some background noise from my phone because I'm going to tinker around with some of this stuff. Hear some background noise from my phone because I'm going to tinker around with some of this stuff. Hear some background noise from my phone because I'm going to tinker around with some of this stuff. Hear some background noise from
Hello, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Hello, testing 1 2 3, testing. All right, so now it is off my it's off my microphone. All right, so now it is off my it's off my microphone. It's really quiet. All right, let's see. All right, that might be better. It's really quiet. All right, let's see. All right, that might be better. Nope. How about now? Is that better? How about now? Is that better? Wow, that's actually quite loud. How about now? Is that better? Wow, that's actually quite loud. I mean, maybe this is good with the built-in, but let me see if I get any closer, if it makes it any louder or back and forth. I mean, maybe this is good with the built-in, but let me see if I get any closer, if it makes it any louder or back and forth. All right, so I guess there we go. How about that? All right, so I guess there we go. How about that? Oh, I like that now. Okay. So if I can just adjust this a little bit, maybe the microphone won't be that bad. Oh, I like that now. Okay. So if I can just adjust this a little bit, maybe the microphone won't be that bad. Get a little bit closer, see it in view. Because it would be better if the microphone was in view here. Get a little bit closer, see it in view. A little higher. Because it would be better if the microphone was in view here. Get a little bit closer, see it in view. A little higher. Because it would be better if the microphone was in I love the echo here. The echo is just quite hilarious about how this all works. I love the echo here. The echo is just quite hilarious about how this all works. All right, we don't need to keep hearing that. All right, cool. So basically, all I did was I turned the microphone on the webcam off, which is on the sides here of the webcam, and I turned the microphone on. And I didn't have that set prior to the beginning of the show, just because I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to go live yet and tinker around and make it worse. So now that we're live and I can adjust that, now I know exactly what it is. And then if I turn it off on, if I turn the webcam audio off on one of them, it changes it to the rest of them, which is great because I don't have to go through every single setting and turn it on. So that's good. And my voice isn't that bad. It's on the mixer. It's not peaking to high capacity, and it's good. It's not muffled. I can actually turn it down a little bit if I wanted. How about that? Is that good? Is that good? All right. Cool. Trying to think what else I need to do. So in time, the other thing we'll do is we'll add a couple webcams, because when we do have a host or another person here doing the show with me, that webcam will be facing this way, where the other microphone is, and that will allow us to watch him or her. And then I have another webcam which will go up here, which will show the whiteboard, and that'll be interesting. I actually just thought of this idea earlier, but if you look over here, this is our webcam, or our whiteboard, and the whiteboard basically, we could play games on it, we can write stuff, we can even do like a fantasy football when that time comes around, or fantasy sports. We can write it right here on the whiteboard. As you can see, that we've already started drawing the logo for the Morning on the 90s, which will be in the corner down here in the screen. Over here. It's right here. This is the logo for, obviously, Jon Fischer Show, but this logo over here for Morning on the 90s will be right here. There. And I'm sure I'll get made fun of this tomorrow, too, but how long have I been on? Does it even say? No, it doesn't. Oh, it does over here. 44 minutes? Eesh. All right, but yeah. like I said, we're still tinkering around, and that'll be cool. When that logo is done, I have Dana Fisher Designs working on that, as well as John Bauer Designs. I don't know if he has an actual name. They're working on logos, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see them when they're done. I'm actually going to use all the logos. I'm just going to incorporate it in different ways. One maybe for live, one for recording. I don't know, but they all look awesome, and I couldn't say no to anybody. I just can't wait to see what they look like when they're done. Other thing, too, is everything is still under construction. Even though you can still subscribe, you can still hit the notification bell, you can even go to the Facebook page and like. You'll still see things that look a little haywire, like the Facebook profile picture is just a little off. That's getting tweaked. I just wanted something up there. As you could tell, it's under construction because the old Niagara radio station banner is still at the top. We had removed that Facebook page, but I found out I could bring it back, and instead of starting new, I wanted to use the old one because there was still a lot of people that liked that page. So I just would rather add to an old page and bring back old because I'm more of a traditionalist as opposed to modern person when it comes to stuff I've been doing for years. I do want to start fresh, and I believe this is a fresh start here on YouTube. And with you seeing my face, and we're going to go with the radio from here on forth, like a radio. It's more of a visual podcast. I'm actually really excited for the new beginning here, and I can't wait to actually go live January 9th. Every day since we've had this setup finalized, I've been like, oh, I should go live tonight. Well, now I finally cracked and said, you know what? I'm going to do a test run tonight and see how it goes. There's still a couple things I want to add. I do want to do the gamer stream, which as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to tinker with. I have to get it, and then I'll figure out how to link that, and then I'll create a whole new setup. Everything that I've done as far as what I want to release and what I have to release will be in the description below. As well as any of the content that I want you to like and subscribe and notify to. I'm not going to do anything with Twitter or Twitch. I might go to Twitch. I just don't know yet, just to have another processing thing to it. But for because I'm not too familiar with Twitch, and I'm still kind of learning the stuff with it. But I won't do Twitter, and this page. Right here, I'm going to show it to you. I still have to make that work a little bit more. I want to put where it says subscribe and ring the bell. I kind of want to put the Facebook thing in there too, so people know that we have a Facebook page other than the scroll and whatnot, because I mean, you are on my YouTube page, so either you do or you don't when you're there, but I do want you to see the Facebook page. The Facebook page, too, will update more frequently than we do videos on YouTube. We're going to keep up on it a lot better than we did in the past years when we were on Spreaker. It just was a little bit harder then. But being on this now at a later hour is really cool because everything is saved on YouTube. Unlike Spreaker, where we had to have a subscription, and then we had to have followers, and then there was restrictions. On here, there's a lot of tight restrictions, but everything is saved. Everything is free. Everything by YouTube is amazing. And the only thing I'm still trying to get familiar with is how to customize and change channel stuff. And it is a spaghetti mixture of stuff that I have to figure out. And Facebook is the same way. So that's the big learning curve of everything. And I do give YouTube a lot of credit with their Creator Studio or Creator Academy for learning a lot of stuff. I started it and kind of stopped, but I need to get back to it. The Creator Academy is really cool. I did all the copyright stuff first because I don't want to put content on here and either get removed, sued, or all that stuff. I don't have the money for that, so I want to be very safe in what I post and what I talk about, maybe. I'm not very filtered when it comes to venting, so... but like music videos and stuff, I mean, we'll do a clip of stuff. I know that's something I'm allowed to do, but I can't show the whole thing because it's copyrighted. There are things that I can do and I can't do. I have to get permissions to show this, show that. I get all that. So I want to make sure I put the right content on that's not going to restrict me, but at the same time, we're all going to have fun. And that's why I kind of want to do more of a gaming thing when we start our show, because it's not really copyrighted. Everyone's playing a game that we bought, as opposed to like music that's copyrighted and I can't rebroadcast, you know. Where on the radio station I had before, I could do that. I think that's one of the big downfalls about this is I'm not allowed to broadcast any music as I did before, and I think even then it was kind of weird because of the restrictions and non-restrictions. But I will reach out to certain bands, especially local bands, that want to do or want to have their material broadcast on my channel, and we'll see if we can do something with that. Because I'm more local now. It's not that I wasn't before, but now that you put a name to a face, or a face to a name, I'm gonna do a lot more local stuff. And you'll see, I don't want to say you'll see more political stuff, but you'll see local stuff. And that's kind of what I like. And I'm wearing my Bills shirt today. They won. I kind of missed half the game, but this has been a good luck charm for a while. And then for some reason this season, every time I wear it, they lose. And I'm like, I have to keep wearing this polo until they finally win one. And they finally won one, and then they lost one, and then they won today. So it was a good feeling to actually end the season with a win with wearing this, because this usually brings bad luck. But I want it to be end on a good note so that next season's all good luck. So So I don't think I need to tinker around with anything else. I'll listen to the playback and see if I have to adjust volumes. I mean, according to the mixer, I'm right where I need to be. Obviously, you can always adjust your volume up or down to hear me better. I don't want it to be muffled, because even when we did the radio show, it would look good on my end, but when I hear playback, I'd hear a little crackle or it wouldn't sound all that right. I'm watching the live version right now. I'm 6 seconds delayed, which is, it's fine. I get it. It's not going to be instantaneous. I did do everything by the book, though. Everything is wired. It's not on the Wi-Fi. It's directly landline, so it's the fastest we can get out. It's the best processing. It does look a little pixelated, but that could be my camera. And that could also be the computer, because I'm using a Mac Mini from 2014, and I know the computer's slow, which eventually somewhere down the road I'll upgrade or get something better. But I like the Mac. The Mac is amazing. I haven't had any issues since I bought it. Every time I buy a Windows computer, it's within a couple of years I start seeing it slow down, freeze up, do really cruddy things, and I'm buying another one. So it's kind of funny how you weigh your pros and cons on Apple and Windows, where it's like, why would you want to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on an Apple product, and it doesn't have like the same features as a Windows computer does, but you can buy a really cheap Windows computer, but you're replacing it. So in the long run, if you think about it, you buy a $600 Mac Mini, and then within, I don't know, 5-6 years, it's still running like a champ. They don't ever lose their value. Where you buy, I don't know, maybe a $200-$300 laptop, maybe even a little cheaper than that. It gets you 3 years, and then in 3 years you're buying another one for the same price. So you just paid the same amount of money in 3 years that you would have bought for a Mac Mini one time, and it lasts you however long you want to last. Cool thing about the Macs is they're like cars. As long as you maintain them very well, and keep up with the technology, they will go forever. And that's one thing I'm lacking on my Mac Mini. I know that it's outdated. It's a 2014 or 15, somewhere around there. But from what I'm told is if you just upgrade, because everything is still the same, if you upgrade the RAM and get the best processing in it, it'll act like it's a brand new computer, like you just bought it off the store today, because that's got all the newest technology in it. And if that's true, I'm like, great, I'll update it as soon as I can. It's kind of just like changing the oil in your car. You just keep it maintained, and it'll be great. But yeah, I don't think there's anything more I want to talk about. I think I got enough talking into it that I'll be able to adjust whatever I need to adjust. I already tinkered with a lot of this stuff. I mean, I probably should have had this running. Oh, I don't like that. There we go. See what I'm doing? There we go. Cool. So yeah, right here, if you see it right here at the bottom, Niagara Podcast Channel, that's on Facebook. Like I said, everything is still under construction, so you're going to see things that look a little funny. That's because we're tweaking everything. That top Facebook photo cover, that'll be changed. The photo, the profile picture, that will be readjusted in size. I just threw one on. I wanted to make sure it worked. I changed everything over from the Niagara radio station to the Niagara Podcast Channel, so everything for the foundation is set. Same thing for the YouTube channel, other than my name, is set. And going forward, I think this will be pretty cool. I'll buy a couple more cameras and see if that works. I'll get the processor for or the program so I can game stream next. I'm actually going to do that right now. It's 10:30. I've been on too long. It's been almost an hour since I started the stream. Not since I've gone on, but I started the stream. And what's really cool about the program that I'm using that uses all this stuff is it actually shows if I've ever dropped or everything looks bad and whatnot. And I can actually record shows off of this without ever going live, which is kind of cool too. But yeah, if you have any questions or if you want a shout out or a comment or anything while we're live, you can always go into that chat box on the side and start doing that. I will eventually start putting sponsors and stuff in there so that the channel can make money and we can do other cool things. But I want to get started first. It may take a year before I actually start doing that and just get a feel of how this works and see how it is. Because you can make money off this, and I'd rather make money. So we'll see how it goes. But other than that, yeah. I have a really cool way to end the show. And that's just clicking this and hitting fade. So thank you for watching. If you're watching live, which you're not, thank you for watching the playback. Hope everything sounds good, and I can't wait to talk to everyone and see everyone on January 9th at 9 p.m.